Yeah, YouTubers, Tez Man here, bringing you another episode of Foundry Virtual Tabletop from the ground up. That's right. I got enough people asking through Discord messages, through comments, saying, "Hey, yeah, please do a series on this. We want to see more." So we're gonna do just that. Um, Before I get started, the one thing I wanted to really say is you guys rock. I love you guys to pieces, man. We hit 1,000 subs. In fact, we even exceeded 1,000 subs. We went up, we're currently, I think, at 1,015 or 16 subs. Don't know. But man, you guys are just so awesome. So we will be doing the Great Big Game Giveaway, which is 57 Steam games and one copy of Fantasy Grounds Classic Standard Edition. And we will be giving those all away. The way you become eligible, or the way you're eligible for that, is join my Discord. The information should be in the video description down below. If not, it's definitely in lots of my other videos, but I'm pretty sure it's in this video description as well. So join my Discord. That's all you have to do to be eligible to win. And what I'll do probably in about 2 weeks, I'm going to give people a good 2 weeks to be able to join the Discord and be ready for that. And then I will go ahead and do the giveaway. Basically, it will be first come, first serve. So the first person in the list of winners that actually claims the game, they get to choose. We'll just work our way until all 57 Steam games and the copy of Fantasy Grounds has been given away. And of course, there will be some people that maybe are inactive on YouTube or inactive on my Discord that signed up a long time ago. So if they actually win, and after another 2 weeks, if they haven't claimed their prize, then I'll select new names. So anyway, there you go. Like I said, thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome, and I love every one of you. So on with the video. So I was kind of thinking about exactly how we wanted to address this, and I mean, this is a ground up video. So this is one of my patent pending ground up type videos where we start at the very base. And that's what we're going to do, is right here. In the last video, we talked about how to get Foundry Virtual Tabletop, how to install it, and some of the really basic cool features and basic features that it has. So what I want to do in this episode is maybe start by looking at this stuff right here, also looking at the directory structure that Foundry Virtual Tabletop uses, or Foundry VTT. So let's go ahead and we'll start over with the update software. Once you have actually got your license, you can come in here. You can see your current version. You can click check for update, and you'll get this little guy either saying there is an update or there isn't an update. You'll also notice it mentioned that we're on the beta channel. You can choose which software channel you want to be part of. So there's the beta, there's the alpha, which is more than likely very unstable. Release candidates are usually pretty stable, but not guaranteed to be really stable. And then release candidates or releases will actually be this is what's going out the door, this is what we're actually advertising. So you can choose which channel. The default channel that you would be on update channels would be the release candidate. So you'll always see that. If, for example, your Foundry is acting or behaving strangely or something, and you feel like you want to reinstall, if you go to check for update, it'll say that there are none available. But you can click on force update, and then when you say check for update, it will go ahead and say, okay, well, we're going to force the update. It gives you the notes. Then you just say download and install. Now, I'm not 100% sure if that will go away the next time I log in, but if not, I guess I'll just redo it. The next tab over, we have the configuration. This is where you can put in uh, your Foundry information. I think that's what I did anyway. Or you can, when you create your admin account, you can actually put in your admin information in here. The admin password is when you double click on the Foundry VTT shortcut, it will pull up a password. It'll pull up this screen basically, but it'll have a little box in the middle saying enter your access key, which is your password. I think it says access key. Next thing we have is the port. So Foundry VTT, your players do not actually have to have the software itself. They can simply load up a web page, as we were displaying in the last episode as well. So once you have this part of Foundry VTT loaded, you could actually then minimize your application for Foundry VTT, and you could do everything directly from the web page. LOCALHHOST, and as you can see, 3000. So as you can see here, this is what it actually looks like when you first launch it. And now you can see that we're basically in the same thing as we are. However, we are getting that error because I'm shrinking down the size of the window so that it's not microscopic text for you. I'm going to go ahead and minimize that guy, and we'll continue on. So you can change the port that it's listening to right here. So if you wanted 29,000 instead of 30,000, you change it here, save your changes, and now it should be listening at that. You might have to restart Foundry VTT in order for that to happen, because right now it's listening at 30,000. I'm just looking really quick. Does it say you have to? Doesn't say that, but it also you can also enable UPnP, which is Universal Plug and Play. This is, I think I mentioned this in the previous video. So the default location for Foundry to put all its files is in your app data. So if we do %app data %, you'll notice this takes you to your local profile, then in the app data and the roaming folder. So this is your roaming profile information, and if you scroll down just a little bit here, you'll see there's Foundry VTT. Now the default place it's going to put all the data files and everything that you are, your worlds and all that fun stuff will all be here. So if you want to have that separate, which I usually do, you'll want to give it its own location. And this will actually put your world file, systems that you have downloaded, modules that you've downloaded, all into this area. I believe, to be honest, last week's video I actually recorded like 4 times, and it was like an hour every time. I'm like, no, I've got to cut this down, just hit the main highlights, throw out a decent teaser that will make you guys want more. So I tried cruising through this stuff really quickly, and then getting right in and showing you the line of sight stuff, the vision stuff, the sounds, and all that stuff. I wanted to hurry and get in there just so you could have a good teaser and really want to know more. So when you have multiple worlds, you do have the option of, once the software comes up, it automatically loads a world. That means you will not get this screen for the checking your software update, module updates, or game system updates. It'll just jump right into the world. So you might not want that, you might want that. And all you do is you click on this. We had our test world that we were playing in, and that is what that would do. It would automatically launch it. If you're hosting yourself or on the cloud or something, you might have socket layer security. Socket security layer. I think maybe, does it say in here? Secure socket layer. I was saying it wrong. So you can do this so that it's using encryption in order for the communication. Then also if you have AWS, which is the, does this tell us that too? I believe it's the Amazon Web Services or something like that. You can actually put that in there, and that means you're hosting out on a cloud. I know there are some other ones. I believe there's one called Forge. It's called Forge, I think, that you can host your game in. It's probably a paid service, would be my guess. Next, we have the add-on modules. I think we kind of went into detail on these because I felt that was kind of important. Since that time, I've actually signed up for the one that I mentioned that allows you to grab data from D&D Beyond. So if you guys are interested in a tutorial on how to get that set up and configured, I'm more than happy to do that. Just leave a comment down below. But we kind of talked about how we can click update all our things. We can actually individually click on them to install and check for updates. We can click on install module and actually choose modules to install. It's easy as simply clicking the install right here, and that's it. You've got it installed. Then we have the game systems themselves. So we have the Dungeons & Dragons 5e 5th edition game system. There are lots of others. Same type of thing where we can uninstall it. We can click check for update to even see if there's an update, or we can just tell it to update all, which will then tell us it is updated. The install system, once again, we kind of went through this. There's all these different ones, and many in the process of being made. There's actual tutorials out there also on how to make your own system. So lots of cool stuff going on. And then finally we had our actual game worlds, where we talked about you can install other worlds. I haven't had a chance to really look into how that works exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's the way that the game system and Addon Modules used to work. You would just have a blank page here. You would put in the manifest URL to where that world JSON file is, and then it would actually install from there and just add it to your list. We talked about creating a world and all the cool features that are within the world as far as formatting, how you can show when your next game is, and all that, adding backgrounds. So I don't need to go necessarily into all that. So let's jump right into launching our world. We did talk about this, that here, this is where you can set up inside the game or inside the application. You can actually go into player manager, so to speak, and actually add more players. Right now, I think we added GM2, didn't we? I think we did. But you can see here we have Derby Fam, Derby Kid, and you can have access keys on each of those. We'll be going into that shortly. It does show that now we have 4 players in our list, so 4 people can join the table. This is your world description that we set up before, and now let's go ahead and load our game master and do our access key, which is just the password, and we can log in. So when you first log in, there won't necessarily be this there won't be a map here unless you've already had one. If we were to, I think we can deactivate. Is that one of the options in here? We don't want to delete. No, I think once you have one up, it wants to be up. Configure scene, preload scene. So, as I did with Fantasy Grounds, what I want to do is get us familiar with the interface. And that would be all these guys here. We'll talk about this. This will probably be spread out over a couple videos because we're already at 15 minutes. And I just want to get through all this stuff. So, of course, we have our Foundry logo right here. We have this little up arrow, which if we have multiple scenes that we can put people in, we can switch which scene they're in. We have this little G here saying this is the game master. You'll notice it's yellow. If we go load up, say, Derby Fam, my daughter or something. That's fine. Game world, launch world. We'll do my daughter because I'm not sure if I put a password on my son. I don't think we have password on there. Nope. So here you'll see that Derby Fam knows that she's in this world. We can get rid of you. And if we go, let's make this just a little bit larger and get rid of some of this googly stuff from the web page. I can't go much higher than that because of where I actually have the screen capture window. So anyway, as you can see here, now we have a D that's purple. That's for Derby Fam. So you have these colors associated with these to let you know who's on what map, which leads me to believe you can actually have multiple people on different maps. I haven't tried that yet. That's definitely going to be something I try. So this little up arrow right here will actually minimize all the information as to what scenes are available and who's in them. Right-clicking them, you can configure, which is the same thing as just clicking on it there. There's the scene notes, which is basically the same thing as our journal entry. So we come here, you can see we actually set up our journal notes to be Stonehill Inn. So that will give us our journal entry of Stonehill Inn. We also have the preload the scene. If you click this, what this is going to do is before, like if I have multiple scenes up here, I can tell it to go pre-cache or load up the background image and stuff for all the players. It doesn't necessarily load it and put it active, but it will allow it to make it so the downloads are loading while we're doing other things. Then we kind of move over here. So we have our main buttons here, and then the options for those buttons will appear in the second column. So the first one here is our basic controls. This is also where we're in play mode. If we're in here, we're not necessarily in play mode where we can grab our characters. We can do, for example, a measurement. And can we delete the measurement? Right there, right? Like that. So that's our measurement. So this first one is simply your basic controls. This gives you the option to select tokens, so we can actually select them this way. We can select multiple tokens with this. As you can see, we just grabbed all three of those. I'm not sure why we didn't grab that one, but let me check. My guess is he's invisible. Oh, he's dead. He's got 0 health, so yeah, we didn't select him. So we have the selection. The next one here, we have target, so we can click on that and we can say, okay, he's targeted, or he's targeted. Let's see if shift works. Yes, we can multi-target, can control. Nope, control. So if you want to select multiple, or you can, I'm sure, also drag over and select them. So you have multiple ways of targeting, and then you also have your measure distance. This is an invaluable tool. For when you're playing, it's like how far away is this guy. You can actually click on this because you're in a different mode than player select. You can actually grab from your player and say, okay, he's 70 feet away. I can't really do anything. Let's open these doors. Maybe I can see the guy. Oh, I need to be in regular mode. Ooh. Let's just put him inside then. Oh, I'm not facing the right way. That's why. Alright, shift and rotate. So as you can see now, we can see this player down here. Go ahead and move him down. So you can actually tell what the distance is from there. You can actually see they're definitely past my line of sight, which is 60. So I cannot see that player. Unless, I guess, this tavern is all lit up and stuff, but we don't actually have the lighting. We're going to get to that in a minute. So anyway, there's your main player options, your basic controls. Then we have our different types of things. We kind of went into these a little bit. These are where you could say, okay, I'm going to put a fireball and planting it right there, and that's the area that it does, right? So we can click on that, hit delete. We can do a cone, saying, okay, I'm shooting something that does a cone effect. There you go. You can see that. Go ahead and click it, delete. Then, of course, you have cube, and then you also have the line or the ray. And then you can delete all things off the scene. Yes or no. That will just get rid of all of them. Next, we have the tile controls. Now, this is actually kind of cool because you can kind of make your own map using the tile controls. If we came in, I played a little bit with this, so let's see if it even works. I'm just going to leave everything as the default and see if this works for us. So if we click on this scene, oops, right click on this scene and make it the active scene, you'll actually see now everyone's been moved over here. If we want to make this active, we can do that because now we have multiple scenes. So with this, we have the option of selecting tiles. We have placing tiles. If we actually have our tiles already done, we can say, okay, I want to place a tile. I don't know if I have any tiles set up. Backgrounds. Well, let's use our background just for an example. So now if we update the tile, you can see this acts as a tile. We can also like stack multiple tiles together to form ground. Then we have the tile browser. So if we actually have tiles somewhere, right now it's only looking at this, you can actually drag in multiple tiles. Like if we have a whole row, we can kind of line them up, you know, and kind of make a land mass or something. Let's see if there's any in core data. Fonts, icons. I don't think it'd be under icons. I'll go back up. Language, scripts, UI. Yeah, we don't have any tiles right now. But if you're interested in that, let me know and we can definitely look more into it. So you have the placement of tiles. You can select other tiles, put them in here. Right now it's just treating everything as a tile. It's not caring at all. But if these were different pieces of land, we could actually scroll through them and kind of piece everything together to make a map, which is kind of cool. So that kind of allows you to do that. I will try and find some tiles and get them in here so you can see exactly what I mean. The next window down, we have our drawing tool. As you can see, we can select a drawing that we've done. We can draw a rectangle, and you can see it draws a rectangle. Now I wonder if we do like Shift, Control, or Alt. Nope, doesn't look like it does anything. I want to check really quick. Maybe it would do a filled-in circle or something. So we have our rectangle, we have a circle, we have the polygon, so we can actually draw lines to whatever shape we want. And then to end it, you just right click. Oh, end it undoes. We click there and then we hit escape maybe. Reload, log. No, actually I'm not sure. How do we end it? I thought you just did that, but that keeps, maybe we hit enter. Enter. Nope. Space. Game paused. Nope. I'm gonna have to look that one up because I'm not exactly sure. What is that? Oh, that's Derby Fam. I'm like, what is that little thing? Maybe middle click? Oh look, we're making a nice 3D shape. I bet it's double click. Let's try that. Yes, double click. Aha! So there you go. There's a cool shape with polygon. We also have freehand, so you can draw squiggly lines. It's kind of cool because it actually automatically, like if I try and draw a curve, I think I'm inside that one, you'll see that it actually is trying to modify it just a little bit so it's nice and smooth. Let's go and grab everything again. Delete. There's our, oh, wait, there we go. So then we also have a text tool, so we can actually add text and say, hello. Oh, you just have to draw hello. So we can say hello. I believe there are options in here. Now that we have that, if we click on it with the select, once you have tools drawn, you can actually right click on them and you can see you can turn on the visibility. So if you have this invisible, as the GM, I can see it. However, our players, well, our players not even here, cannot see it. Let's go add our player real quick. Derby Fam, Brindy. So here's Brindy. As you can see, there it is right there. If we go back in here now, our player cannot see it. So this is a good way for you to have some kind of little notes and stuff. But you can do that with all the different things. So we can come in here, you know, with our circle, then we can right click here and we can lock it. So it's locked. We can bring it to the front. So if we're layering things, we can actually bring it to the front, send it to the back. If you double click it, you actually get other options. So we can see its width, height, its rotation. We can see the lines. Let's see if this actually has fill. There's fill right there. So we can tell it to fill with solid. Update the drawing. Now you can see it's solid. Double click it again. We can give it a fill texture. I don't think I have one. We can add text to it. So say circle. Although it's not really a circle, but we can fix that. We can go in here and say width and height. Make it 325. And then go ahead and save everything. That should save everything. Now we have a circle. So you can do the same thing with the hello here. We need to select it, double click, and you have those same type of options. It's going to fill the backspace. So if we do a pattern, I don't think I have a pattern. Let's just do a fill. And change its color maybe to kind of a magenta. Say save. And now you'll see it gives the backfill. So you can do that with all those. Then you have this one, which is also whichever the current item selected is, you can actually do that. So if we do the circle, do that one, you can see that it's got the magenta line, it's got the fill of that, and it has the circle. Although that's kind of interesting, it actually doesn't show the circle anymore. SQUARE. I have no idea where that put. Oh, reset defaults. Maybe that's what it was. So that resets. Oh, okay. So this, the reset defaults should do it. I'm not sure what configured default drawing. I wonder if that means anytime we make a circle, it would use this information. Let's try that. SQUARE and hit configure default. Now if I draw a circle, yes, so it does do a square. It's lying. Now also, I believe, as you can see, you have freeform for the circle there. I believe if you hold down shift, it will, nope, not shift. There it is, it's alt. Everyone wants to do it different. So if you hold down alt, it will actually constrain it to always be a circle. Control doesn't seem to do anything special, neither does shift. Alright, so let's go ahead. Oh, I gotta select them. Let's go ahead and select all those shapes, hit delete, and there we go. Then of course we have the clear drawing where you can just delete everything in this scene anyway. Next, we have walls. Now these can actually get kind of complex because there's different types of walls, and then not only that, oops, Control Z. Not only that, they have different behaviors. In fact, if you double click a wall, so if we add a wall here, right, this is just a standard wall. If we go over to our player, oh, I haven't activated it yet. Let me double check. So right now this is perception restriction. It's not restricting any perception. So if we say limited, let's go ahead and update the wall, and this should make it so now our player can't see through it. Or they can't even see it. Why is your vision so weird? It's not showing the dark vision part. Not sure why it's doing that. Alright, so this is just drawing walls, but then we have our different types of walls. I thought, let me just play with this just a second so I can figure this out. So we have movement restrictions. This would make it so they can go through the wall. If there was normal restrictions, they shouldn't be able to go through. The wall, let's try left and see what that does. If we did this, it becomes a door. We don't care about a door. And the state is closed. Let's see if that does anything right there. So our player here, there is a wall here. Right now it's kind of invisible. And as you can see, they cannot go through it. So if we want to try and make it obstruct the vision, restrict movement, perception, normal. What does normal do for us? That looks like we made it a one-way wall. So let's see if that worked right. So basically what we can do with all these different settings is configure the wall to be any of these other types of walls. So if we come in here and go in here now, you'll see the wall did update. That's what I was clicking wrong. We wanted normal. Now you'll notice we cannot see through the wall on this side, but the way we have that set up, and now if we rotate, you'll see we actually can see through it. It's a one-way wall. We can even go through it one way, but we can't go through it the other way. So our wall being right here, we can go through, but we can't come back. So these are all different types of walls anyway. So if we delete this wall, and let's move our player, whoops, Control Z, and maybe change the vision around. That other wall is still thinking it's there, because it is. Alright, delete. Delete. Alright, so anyway, with our different walls, we can actually add them just by drawing a line. And then if you want, you can actually, draw a second line and you can connect it with the first line. You'll notice it connects when both walls light up. You'll notice that they both get a little bold. The one I'm dragging and then that one. And now we can connect those two dots. We can always click on dots and move them, and that reseparates those walls. We can also, if we're drawing walls that are matching a world that we're doing, we're drawing our place. Now I believe, let's try this real quick. If we draw a wall, hold shift. That doesn't do it. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I played with walls, if you can't tell. Shift. I thought one of these constrained, oh, there it is. So now that I've clicked on Control, so I draw a wall, hold Control, you'll see it actually draws the next section automatically. So you can do that, and then once we connect those two, we can right click to get rid of that one. That's why I was thinking right click would do it with the drawing, but it's actual double click. So we have these type of walls, which are your standard big walls, walls for buildings and stuff. Our next one is actually called an environmental or a terrain wall. And if we draw that, you'll notice this is a different color. And let's go ahead and we'll just kind of keep drawing. Maybe do that. And then we'll take that one and just pop it in. Oh, we need to actually click on that and join it there. So this is a terrain wall, and basically a terrain wall does not stop movement. So we come in here and update the scene. You'll actually see a terrain wall allows you to see into it, but not through it. So right here is our box that is our wall. And if we go inside of it, we should be able to see everywhere. However, it is blocking our ability to go inside. So you could use this for something like a hole or something. If we go in and change it so we can go through it, selection, you, nope, not you, you, yes. So if we change it so that our is a door wall coordinates, movement restriction to none, and update that wall, we should be able to go inside this wall but not the other ones. So go in here, and now you can see actually we can go inside the wall, but we can't see where we go out. Now this generally you'll be tracing like trees or something like that, and you'll notice when we come out there's the box again, and we can't go in it from this side or any other side. If we turn around, we should be able to see through, but not all the way through. We can see into but not through. That's what I meant. So there's that wall. And if you guys want, I can go into much more detail. We're at 36 minutes, so I'm going to kind of cruise through the rest of these walls. But there are so many different options that I could have a complete video just on the walls and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and look at the next one. Let's go ahead and select our wall, get rid of this one. And it would probably help if I had a graphic here to kind of show you the walls. I mean, you can't actually see the walls because it uses the image on the thing. The next thing we have is an invisible wall, which you could use like on a cliff edge, so people cannot actually go through a cliff. You know, you could say this is the safe side, this is the bad side, and this will actually just stop them from being able to go through. Let's go ahead and jump into our player here, update the scene. So you see there's a wall here, and if we rotate, there's a wall here. Once again, we can set it so that they are, you know, one way, where they can actually go through one way. Like, for example, if this were a hole, you know, you'd be able to go through the wall, fall down the hole, but getting back out of that hole might be really hard. So we have those type of walls. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. And there is the ethereal walls. These ones are, I don't know how I'm going to explain this necessarily. They're a purple line, and let's go ahead, maybe draw this with a shift hold. That actually didn't work right. Shift, nope. So connect that one. And there we go. These don't actually want to connect quite right. Let's make a triangle, see what this does. So if we go look at the default properties for this, select, there we go. You'll see that it doesn't allow movement. Perception restriction is normal, which means it will block perception. You can actually say the wall blocks direction. I wish they would make this a little more clear as far as wall direction, because it only says left and right, which makes sense if we put a wall here, but is left the bottom or left the top? I'll play with that and figure that out. And then door state. If it's a door, then you check that. So the ethereal wall, I'm trying to think of how to explain it. I might have to address that in a later video, because it'll take a while. Then we have our doors. So you can draw a door like so, and it's just a simple door. You can also, I thought you could do, let's just double check this. So you can draw a door, and then you can hold shift. No. So you just draw a door. Oh, maybe it was control. Was it control? Control. Yes, it was control, not shift. So if we go into play mode, you'll actually see these are now doors that you can open and close. They don't actually have to be thick doors or anything. Just that single line is plenty for the door. So you can have these doors. You'll notice these two doors, we changed their state. They're actually in an open state, where these two doors were in a closed state. We can also, I believe it's shift click or middle click. Right click, control click. we can lock them somehow. There it is, right click. So we can right click to lock it. So now if you look, this is an open door, this is a closed door, this is a locked door. If we go look at our doors, you'll actually see locked means it's red, green means it's open, and blue means that it's closed. So we'll go ahead and call that good. We're at 40 minutes. I swear these videos always go so long. We also have secret door, which kind of has the same ideas. So if we draw a secret door, it's kind of this purpley color. If we go into our view, we will actually see. We'll actually see it's not there. It's invisible. This isn't behaving like the door I have before. So this being a secret door, you'll actually see it says it's a secret door. So the GM would be able to, this will act just like a regular wall until someone, until the GM actually opens it up. But I'm kind of baffled as to why I can't see it. I've always been able to see it before. Let's see. Yeah, see, they see it as a wall. They can't actually click on it to open it. But the part, oh, there it goes. I just had to update my view, I guess. So same thing happens with that. We can open the secret door. You'll notice that we don't actually see anything there. We can right click to lock the secret door. It was just being a little goofy. Whoops. There's another wall. All right, next we have cloning walls. So if we, for example, made just the perfect thing here, we had like a box. Oh, yeah. So if we have a box, we're going to draw, hold control, go down here maybe, and then come here, connect it all, and then right click to disconnect it. We have a little oops right there, but that's not a big deal. So we can actually clone the wall by clicking on this, and then new, Control Z. I think we can clone the whole structure. That's what I'm trying to do. So if we say clone wall, actually let's try something. Don't hit escape. If we select wall, we select the whole wall, we can clone the wall, and then does this, that's for snap to grid. Then if we paste maybe, Control V. Can we move it now? Clone the wall. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look that one up or try and figure it out. I mean, Control V doesn't seem to work. So I'm not, and it might only clone one piece. Like clone that. And then maybe if I move it out, is it still? No. Yeah, I will definitely look at that. So we're at 43 minutes. So that's pretty much all the wall things. Like I said, we could go in an entire video, and if you want me to, I will do that. I will go do a ton of research, reading up on this stuff. I know the ethereal wall was kind of a weird one. Clone wall is definitely a strange one. Not sure why the secret door didn't show up in our main view. So the next one we have is our lighting, which is this guy. So we kind of played with this in our previous one where we changed it from day to night. And then we can also reset the fog of war for our character. So if we make this the active one, because Brindy here, oops, delete. I have to click that real quick, delete. So because Brindy here has already seen stuff, if we come in here and look at on the player screen, you'll see we can actually see everywhere that she's been, kind of as a fogged out area. So if we reset the fog of war, what that should do is reset everything to only show, once again, what she's looking at right now. So let's go double check that and hit reset fog of war, say yes. Now if we go back over to our player screen, there you go. She no longer sees areas that were closed to her. She can now see those again. So that's your reset the fog of war. The other ones, as we went over in the last video, will allow you to set the daytime and nighttime. So we could do that, and you'll notice it slowly gets darker and darker. We'll start seeing things turning on because our lights, we have triggers on them saying their threshold, and now it's completely dark. All the little lights are on. As the GM, I can see all those. I don't think the player can unless I have a setting wrong. Yeah, it doesn't look like the players can see those other two, which is exactly what we want. So when they come into these rooms, they'll be able to see these lights that are lighting those ones up. So we have lighting where we can actually create lights. We actually went over that just a little bit. Let's just cruise through real quick. We can set the light color, how transparent that color is, so the opacity. We can make it so it's really faint. And now you see the fireplace is not giving off such an orange glow as it was before. Still is a little orange, but not completely. Oh, dang it, did it again. So there you go. Let's see, so if we come back into here, so those are our light options. Then of course you can delete all the lights on the page. We definitely don't want to do that. We have the same type of thing with the music. Remember, we set up a music down here. I don't see it, so maybe we got rid of it, deleted it. But you can set up sound. Remember that we also were showing that you can make it so walls, if we make it global, it should be able to go through walls and everything. So required field, oh, we didn't fill in all the fields. So we could say that it's global. There's the path for the MP3. That's probably what I was whining about. Just go to sounds, music, tavern, select. The position of it, generally you won't care about that. The maximum volume, and then you can also say ease in, and then up, down, update sound. So as you can see here, it's going through the wall as if the wall's not there. That's what the local global is. Double click that. If we say local, update sound, now you see it's being blocked by walls. We actually have a transparent wall here that allows the direction. So if we go into our walls, you can see, let's make it day real quick so you can see day, and we'll go ahead and go back into walls. You'll see that we actually are showing all the different types of walls. Well, most of them. We don't have the ethereal ones, but we do have like these desks being walls, so you can't go on top of them. We have doors. We have a locked door. I thought I set up a secret door. We have windows and all that fun stuff with our walls. Could have swore I set up a secret door somewhere. Don't remember where it is. So there's our ambience, or our volume. If we want to change that radius, we can always go in here and make it maybe 60. And now you see it's a lot bigger. And then finally we have our journal notes. So this is, if we want to add notes to the thing, we can actually drag the pin or click the pin. I don't think I have any notes right now. Maybe that's why it's purple. Can we delete this one maybe? I just did not let me select anything. But anyway, this is where our journal notes are. Maybe it's because we already have this journal note tied to that. Let's just create a second journal note and see if this works right. So let's call it test note. And it will be not anything there. We'll go TSTING. Whoop. TSTING. Save entry. Now let's see if that gives us anything here. I thought, I mean, I did it here. I'm trying to remember how I did it. Why is this purple? Toggle notes. Did I just drag it like that maybe? Yes, I did actually. So this will toggle notes, but does it do it with... And it's not really toggling. And I don't even see that note anymore. I'm going to have to definitely look into this one. So anyway, guys, I'm going to call it because we're at 50 minutes. My throat is going a little hoarse. But we're kind of getting an overview. Like I said, on any of these components, if you want me to delve in more and figure out the ones that are being a little funky and how exactly they work, I definitely need to work more on the wall stuff. I'm just not quite sure how to explain the ethereal walls very well. So I'll read up on that. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Check out my Discord and my other channels. Don't forget about the Great Big Game giveaway. We're there. We're 1,000 subs. Join my Discord so you are eligible to get a game. Now that's it. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.